We're going to go through sine law today. What you have here is sine law in a way that it seems to be written in two different forms, but is actually identical. Okay? So whichever way you've been taught in the past, both of them work. It is advantageous to know both because we can help, or it can help us solve certain questions faster. So the law says sine A over A is equal to sine B over B is equal to sine C over C. And the capital letters all represent angles in our triangles. Okay? The lowercase letters all represent the sides of triangles. When we're setting up a triangle, we have to make sure that whatever angle we label as A, the opposite side must be labeled A. Whatever angle is labeled B, the opposite side must be B, and the opposite C. If we don't do that, this ratio won't work for us. Okay? This is the exact same formula as the above. It's just been inverted. Okay? And we'll explain, or I can show you a quick fraction rule to why that works. Imagine we had the fraction 2 over 5 is equal to 4 over 10. That is right. 2 over 5 is equal to 4 over 10. Okay? What if I inverted it? 5 over 2 is equal to 10 over 4. Is this still true? Is this still equal? No? It is. It is still equal. So as long as we invert both sides of a fraction, if we have an equal sign between them, everything stays true. So this formula can be written with the angles on top or the angles on the bottom. And we're going to talk about why it'd be helpful to help us solve questions faster to know both. So we've been given a question here, and they've labeled everything X, Y, Z. Now it's up to you if you want to rename your sine law and put in letters X and Y and Z. But if you're more familiar with ABC, we can rename the triangle they've given us. So I'm going to rename this triangle. We'll call X A, which means what angle will be A? That's right, right here. And we'll write it as a capital letter. Z we'll call C, which means side Z is now C. And we'll call Y angle B, which makes side Y B. Okay. And what we're going to do in this question is we're going to solve for angle A. Sorry, not angle A. That's easy. It's 83. We're going to solve for side A. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up sine law and put in all of the information I have and then eliminate things from there. So, because I'm looking for side A, and this is where knowing both will come in handy, it's easiest to solve if we put whatever we're looking for on the top of the fraction. So if I'm looking for a side, it's actually easier to use this ratio, where the sides are all on top. Okay? If you're looking for an angle, it's much easier to use this formula, where the angles are all on top. Again, it's the same formula, we just flipped it. Okay? And we're going to talk about why in a second. So because we're looking for a side, I'm going to write this out as A over sine A is equal to side B over sine B is equal to side C over sine C. From here, we're going to input all the information we have. So A is unknown. Angle A is 83. Great. So let's leave it at that. A over sine 83. Okay? And the second part of this, our B. Side B is also unknown, and angle B is 35. So we're going to plug that information in. B is unknown, but angle B is 35. And finally, C. Angle C is unknown in this case. And side C, yeah, we can. Side C is 26. So we're going to put that in. 26 is side C. Sorry, I forgot to highlight that properly. And our angle is unknown here. Sine C. In order to use sine law, we have to have a complete ratio. In other words, we have to have all the numbers in one of these sets of fractions. Do I have all the numbers in the first, second, third? So I actually can't use sine law yet. I don't have enough information. What can I do, Mark?
You can add all those in the triangle and then sometimes 180.
That's right. We know that all the angles in a triangle add up to 180. So since we have two of the angles, we can solve for the third one, okay? We know that, and I'm going to write it out like this. Angle A plus angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degrees. So let's plug in the information. Angle A was 83, angle B was 35, and angle C, I'm just going to write it as C now, is unknown. So according to our algebra rules, we can move 83 and 35 to the other side. C will then be equal to 180, subtract 83, subtract 35, just like we did in chapter 6. Okay? And C will be equal to, who can help me out here? 97, 62? Someone help me out. Use a calculator, let me know if that's right. 62? Great, okay. So this is 62. That's great. We can now input more information. We know that this is 62, so I'm going to replace that C with the value of 62. So now we can use sine law because we have this entire ratio here. Now what's the goal? What were we trying to find? A. Okay. So I need to use the ratio we have, and we want to use the ratio where we're looking for something. In other words, the one in the middle, B, is irrelevant for what we're doing. So we can just drop it off. We don't need it. We're just going to take it away so it's simpler for us to work with. We're going to set A is equal to sine 83 is equal to, divided by sine 83 is equal to 26 over sine 62. Okay. Now the reason I said that if we keep the value on top, it's easier, because when this value is on top, from here there's only one step I need to do. I need to bring over my sine 83 and multiply by it because this is division. Had the A been on the bottom, there would be two steps. I'd have to move over the A and then move everything else over to the other side. So it's always easiest if we use the sine law for whatever side or whatever angle we're looking for, we use that value on top. Okay? So I set this up to be easiest to solve. So in other words, now if you want, you can find what sine 83 is in your calculator. I'm going to move it as sine 83. Because this is divided by, we know to move it to the other side, we need to multiply. So we need to multiply sine 83 by what's on this side. So I'll write this out again. A is equal to 26 divided by sine 62, all multiplied by sine 83. Okay? And that will give us our side A. Let's see if I can bring up a calculator here. 26 divided by bracket 62 sine and bracket is equal to. Okay, so this should be, that's equal to 29.44. And I'm going to multiply it by bracket sine 83 and bracket. So this should all equal, is that right? 29.22? Is that what you got? Great. 29.22 degrees, which is essentially approximately 29 degrees. I'm going to double check that it's right. So sorry, that's actually a sine.